With the 15th episode of Digimon Ghost Game marking the arrival of Angoramon's champion evolution, Symbare Angoramon, we now have all three protagonists this season with champion level Digimon. It's funny to think that by episode 15 of Digimon Adventure 2020, we were already halfway through the ultimate level episodes, but Ghost Game had to account for Gammamon's multi-directional evolutions, him having three forms and a dark form, but yes, we now have crossed the getting the champion section of the newest show, and the episode that gave us our final champion was a pretty great one. It was of course centered on Rudy and Angoramon, but what I liked most about it was that we got to spend more meaningful time with Rudy's crew, Mika and Aoi. If you recall, these three girls technically were introduced to us in episode 1 of Ghost Game before even Hito and Kiyoshiro. We always knew Rudy's crew had their own thing going on before she became a Digimon Tamer, and it was cool seeing their dynamic this week before the big showdown and evolution. So let's unpack the episode, talk about what worked and what they may be setting up for the future of Ghost Game. This video isn't sponsored by anyone except me, and I have one small ask of you this week. If you haven't already, when you're done with this video, go check out the other video I put out this week. It's a video explaining why Digimon, the movie, Summer Wars, and the new anime film Bell are actually a hidden trilogy. We explore the connection between all three movies. I worked pretty hard on that one, and I'm trying something new, and I think you'll like it. I'll leave a link in the description and the comments. But back to episode 15, there's a fortune-telling tent popping up around town, and what's happening is the fortune teller in question is creating illusions that horrify visitors in various ways before turning them to stone. We start with Rudy and Angoramon talking about the new DIM card that arrived last week in episode 14, but didn't end up being too important to that episode. It's nice to see that plot point didn't just disappear and instead was present here, although I'm not sure how relevant the new DIM was to this week other than it created a new snowy setting for the AR field. I don't think it was intrinsically tied to Angoramon's new evolution. For a moment, I even thought maybe one or both of Rudy's friends would be getting the DIM card and possibly their own Digimon this week, but no dice. Maybe in the future though. Skipping around a bit, the girls do find the tent they've been searching for, the fortune teller, but Angoramon senses weird vibes from inside, and in particular, Angoramon hears what sounds like laughter. We get a glimpse of what exactly is going on, and it's that Digimon who haven't materialized, so they're in that kind of hollow, transparent form. They are scaring the pants off of humans, and the joy they get from horrifying humans is actually helping fast track their materialization, making them no longer see-through and sort of real, for lack of a better term. Quote, "Your joy from laughing at their fear will materialize your bodies." That's the ringleader talking to his weird lackeys. We're starting to see evidence that what many Digimon are after is materialization, and that they can manipulate humans to get it. The Digivice Vital Bracelet isn't essential or vital, like we were initially led to believe, but it must be a way to filter and control the human emotion necessary for Digimon to materialize. But Digimon can find other ways to harvest emotion from humans and manifest without a formal partnership. It's what Dracmon wants, it's what Koemon/Monmon achieved last week, even though he wasn't a malicious Digimon. So what we know about the relationship between humans and Digimon, as well as the role of partnership, it's quickly changing, and I'm really interested. Phelesmon, the ringleader and fortune teller, also says, quote, "The circle will become the foothold on which the human world will be consumed. However, I will need more of my minions to materialize to consume your world." And I'm really curious how much of this is real, serious foreshadowing for like the future, like a major plot, versus how much of this was just him spouting villain of the week monologuing. Please let me know what you think. I think this is the big question of the week. Is this something we need to take very seriously, especially since he is not defeated at the end of this week, or is this just villain of the week ranting? For the fight, we get a beautiful snow setting thanks to Rudy's new DIM card, resulting in a new AR field. She makes this decision where her friends might have to see that she's partnered with a Digimon, and she's really worried that they're going to be terrified of Angoramon and potentially of her. Nevertheless, she goes forward with the AR field since it's for their safety, and in it we quickly see Angoramon achieve a new evolution. We get Symbare Angoramon. Interesting to hear this pronunciation because we had all been saying Symbare Angoramon for months based on the katakana. I had to rewind a few times to make sure I was getting it right, but they're saying Symbare Angoramon, like Simba from Lion King, I guess. I'm a big fan of the form, I always have been, and its similarity to King Kazuma from Summer Wars doesn't go unnoticed. It's also looking more majestic and noble in the show than in the official art we've seen previously. It makes short work of some of the lackeys, but when it's time for Phelesmon and that fight, it's not just a one-hit you're done situation. We get a Dragon Ball Z beam struggle, and in terms of the beam struggle, I don't personally get too worked up about power scaling differences as it relates to evolution levels, but I know some people don't really like how often champions are beating ultimates in this show. So for the people who really do care about that, I was glad that here Phelesmon being an ultimate was just too much for Symbare Angoramon, and we were losing that beam struggle until Betel Gammamon and Jellymon showed up up to help push back. I wasn't really expecting this team up, but as I kind of said in the start of this video, it was a nice bookend kind of moment for the end of the arc, you know, the getting our champions arc. Seeing all three kids have their champion level Digimon fighting side by side, very much this next generation or next class of Digidestin assembling moment. Phelesmon is overwhelmed, insists he could take them on, but then retreats anyways with this weird satanic army all leaving. I'm starting to get alarmed about how many malicious Digimon are still out there. There could be a serious Sinister Six style formation of baddies coming very soon with how many are still out there and how many of them are eager to manifest and materialize. Like, they all have the same motivation. When the dust settles, Rudy sees her friends again. She's expecting them to think she's like a monster, but we learn they didn't really see what happened other than that they understand she distracted the monsters so that they could get away. Later, to themselves, Mika and Aoi say, looks like Ruli has some secrets, but let's not ask her anything until she's ready to talk to us. These are just some of the greatest friends out there. Rudy really knows how to pick them. So that's where I'll wrap this week. I had a great time seeing Rudy and her friends take center stage this week, as I've kind of been waiting for this moment since episode 1, where we saw her, Mika, and Aoi just being cool ghost hunters. The Angoramon evolution was rad. The tag team of all three champions was a welcome surprise, and for me, the questions we should be asking this week are, how serious was Phelesmon about the human world being consumed? Is that a serious plan or just monster of the week talk? 2. What is the nature of these new DIM cards? Was that vital for Angoramon's new Digivolution? And if so, why didn't Jellymon and Gammamon need them to evolve? 3. Do you think we're getting other Digidestined or Digimon Tamers in this season? We have characters like Mika, Aoi as prime candidates, and there's also Hiro and Kiyoshiro's friend. I believe his name was Nomura. I don't think we need more characters, but as the show is often compared to Tamers, Tamers had the 3 core characters and then late series add-ons. I could see something like that happening for sure, but I'll call it for now. Thank you for watching the video. I'm eager to hear your thoughts on those 3 questions I posed just a few seconds ago. Go watch the Summer Wars Bell Digimon movie video I put out, because I'm super proud of that one and it needs a little boost. Maybe share it if you have friends who love Summer Wars and Bell and don't know that they're deeply connected to the Digimon universe. Alright, have a great week and I'll see you in the next video.